CEOs know that hiring the right people can make a company. Elon Musk personally interviews candidates himself to this day for certain high-profile positions. SpaceX is hiring big time. Musk tweeted his company needs engineers, technicians, builders, and essential support personnel in and around southern Texas, home to its production facility and launch site for Starship. He expects to bring in several thousand more people over the next year or two. But if you want one of the key jobs, you'll have to pass muster. So what does Musk look for in job candidates? According to a biography by Ashley Vance, he's been known to ask people riddles during job interviews, like this. Imagine if you're standing on the surface of the Earth. You walk 1 mile south, 1 mile west, and 1 mile north. You end up exactly where you started. Where are you? One answer is the North Pole. If you start there and go a mile south, then a mile west, and then a mile north, you'll make a triangular path and end up back at the North Pole. But there's actually more than one answer. Musk has been known to follow up with, where else could you be? The answer is somewhere close to the South Pole. Imagine a circle with a 1 mile circumference. If you started a mile north of the circle and traveled a mile south, then a mile west all the way around the circle, then a mile north, you'd be back at your starting point. Musk is said to care less about whether the person gets the right answer, and more about how they try to solve the problem. The approach is key, as he explained in this interview with a leading German automobile magazine.
When I interview somebody, I really just ask them to tell me the story of their career. What are some of the tougher problems that they dealt with, how they dealt with those, and how they made decisions at key transition points. And usually that's enough for me to get a very good gut feel about someone.
And in order to spot someone who is less than honest, he says he pays attention to whether they can describe their solution in detail. Detectives use the same strategy during interrogations. Honesty helped Sundar Pichai land a job at Google. When interviewers asked what he thought of Gmail the very same day it launched, he said he couldn't answer the question because he hadn't been able to use the product. That impressed the interviewers enough to move him to the next rounds. Just a decade later, he became CEO. Before even getting a shot at acing an interview, simply getting an interview could be tough. Musk has questioned whether one of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, would have even gotten to the interview stage at the company that now bears his name. The Tesla CEO has even said, "This is actually one of my big worries. If Nikola Tesla was alive today, could he get an interview? And if not, we're doing something wrong. And I'm not totally sure he would get an interview." In order to minimize the chance that brilliant people aren't overlooked, he says his companies don't always focus on the school candidates attended or even if they graduated from university. On Tesla's career page, the requirement to be a software engineer for its artificial intelligence team is either a Bachelor of Science in an applicable field or proof of exceptional skills, something that Musk has repeated over and over again.
Looking just for evidence of exceptional ability.
It's unclear how many people who lack a degree have actually been hired at Tesla, but degree or not, all must pass a hardcore coding test. Those closest to Musk believe he has a knack for hiring talent. When he started recruiting for SpaceX in the early 2000s, Musk ended up meeting an engineer named Tom Mueller through an amateur rocket club in California. He spoke with Mueller for hours and knew he had struck gold. Mueller has been called the modern-day godfather of rocket science. He led the design of SpaceX's Merlin engines that power the Falcon line of rockets before he retired last year.
Elon was very good at recognizing talent and hired people that recognize talent. I feel like my group propulsion was really strong. Just hired really smart people, trained them right, and it's hard to beat a small group of really smart people.
But that doesn't mean Musk is easy to have as a boss. Headlines have detailed complaints by former employees over difficult working conditions. Musk is also said to expect a level of excellence from staff. Take it from Dolly Singh, the former head of talent acquisition at SpaceX. When someone on the question and answer site Quora asked, "What is it like to work with or for Elon Musk?" she responded, "Working with him isn't a comfortable experience. He is never satisfied with himself, so he is never really satisfied with anyone around him. He pushes himself harder and harder, and he pushes others around him the exact same way. The challenge is that he is a machine and the rest of us aren't. So if you work for Elon, you have to accept the discomfort. But in that discomfort is the kind of growth you can't get anywhere else, and worth every ounce of blood and sweat." Musk has also given his staff advice on how they can be more productive. He once reportedly sent an email to Tesla staff suggesting they try to avoid holding too many meetings, even saying people should feel free to walk out of a meeting if they're not adding any value. Whether you're employed at Tesla or any company, it's about working as efficiently as possible. As someone who uses the internet for everything when I create these videos, I often have to access various sites for research. Thankfully, Dashlane saves me a lot of time by autofilling my login information. Dashlane gives you everything you need to easily manage your passwords and keep them secure. With Dashlane, logging into a website is as easy as clicking login and letting autofill do the rest. Autofill also works with credit cards and addresses to make your online shopping seamless and easy. Dashlane also works on multiple devices, so if you need to log into an account on your phone, tablet, or desktop, you'll always have access to your passwords and account information. On top of all of that, Dashlane also has a VPN that stops your internet service provider from tracking your web activity and allows you to watch shows and movies that are unavailable in your country on websites like Netflix. If you find this as helpful as I do, you can try Dashlane for free on your first device at dashlane.com/newsthink. And if you decide to upgrade to premium, you can use my code Newsthink for 50% off. The link is in my description. For Newsthink, I'm Cindy Pom.